All right, so slip joints. Let's talk slip joints for a moment, guys. I have 3 slip joints for you guys to check out. These are premium slip joints, right, that you definitely should have in your radar. I recently became a little bit accustomed to slip joints. I don't know if you guys have been following my EDC journey right here on YouTube. I've been more of a modern folder sort of EDC knife carry individual, if you will, but recently I've been checking out more and more slip joints, and I've just been understanding more and more what the hype is with them. Why do folks rave about slip joints? What do they bring to the table? How they stand out? They're different than folder knives, modern folders and such. And you know, the fact that they have a vast history going back to, you know, traditional knives, right? These were the knives that were around, or sort of the style of knife, deployment mechanism and all, the sort of knife that was around before all the modern folders that we know and love today. So first, shout out to Tim School of Fish, right? I started seeing a bunch of slip joints in his channel, and I started, you know, digging a little bit more. Also, shout out to Lefty EDC. All 3 knives in this video are borrowed from Kevin, and I couldn't thank him enough for the opportunity. I happen to be basically checking out 3 slip joints at the same time. All 3 are premium, and I want to just share them with you quickly here in this brief video. So this first one here is the Lake Champlin Barlow. It is from Traditional Pocket Knives. This one is from C. Risner, the owner. M390 on the blade. We got a hollow, mean hollow ground sheep's foot Warncliffe blade right there. This one is bell satin finish, which looks amazing. Got a nice fuller right here. Again, I have an unboxing and review video for this knife if you guys want to learn a lot more about the knife itself, and all the knives are linked down below in the description. So if you want to check out prices, details, and things like that, or even consider purchasing one, it does help the channel if you end up purchasing a knife through those links, but that is entirely up to you, and obviously at no extra cost. So yeah, the Lake Champlin Barlow, right? Savage looking blade. As far as the handle, we have this one has the what they call the Halloween night carbon fiber going on. There's a natural micarta. My favorites will be the saw cut titanium or jigget titanium. Those look really good. And there's even another different version for the blade, which is the clip point blade. If you're not for whatever reason a Warncliffe or sheepsfoot fan, to me this is the way to go right here, right? This is the geometry, blade geometry that I love the most. Check out the bolsters on this one, titanium, nice and tall, right? This one is a pretty big, definitely a large slip joint, right? Not a medium or small, but definitely on that large factor slip joint. And the one thing that I really was sold with this knife is the fact that, you know, the fit and finish on this thing is amazing. Really, really good fit and finish. The inlays, everything lines up perfectly. The back spring right here is beautiful, and everything is aligned in place. Nothing is, you know, out of place or anything like that. This knife comes in at $200, but it feels like a $300-400 knife. Honestly, that's how good the quality on this knife is. Check out the walk and talk. I know I've been opening and closing it the entire time, but just, you know, let's do some acoustics real quick, shall we? Here we go. All right, so check out, I mean, the sound on this thing is addicting. Now, if you don't know anything about slip joints, and don't worry, that was me a couple of months ago. You know, this is called the walk and talk. That's what the folks referred to it. And I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I know a ton about slip joints. I'm barely getting my feet wet going down the rabbit hole. So yeah, that sound that you hear is the walk and talk. This is known as the half stop. This is the full stop, and that's about the extent of what I know. Just kidding. You know, I'm obviously learning more and more about slip joints, but man, after carrying this thing for a little over a week now, just getting ready to send it back to Lefty EDC, my first impression from this knife, aside from the quality, the overall fit and finish, the materials and everything, is the fact that cutting with this knife felt like, you know, definitely, I mean, this thing is so sharp, like ridiculously sharp. It cuts so good, right? Definitely check the unboxing and review if you want to see this guy in action cutting through material like paper and cardboard. But this knife was so sharp, and it cut better, right? Better than $300 and $400 knives that I have put under this lens in this video. That's how good and how sharp this thing was and how well it performed. I was blown away. I'm like, how is it possible that a slip joint, right, that is actually cutting better than some other higher cost premium knives, folders, right, that I own? And yeah, that is the truth. This one right here particularly is a laser beam. This thing went through cardboard like honestly, like it was nobody's business, cutting through like that edge was gonna stay there forever. And you know, like honestly, everything that I cut with it, I was really impressed and just blown away that it actually cut so well. So definitely love the Lake Champlin Barlow from Traditional Pocket Knives. C. Risner, check him out. He is the owner of Austin Jackson is the designer on this one, and he is the owner of Risner Cutlery. So check out their site. I'm not affiliated with Traditional Pocket Knives currently, but you know, hopefully at some point in the future I'll become affiliated with them. The knife is gonna be linked down below regardless, for you guys to check it out. But yeah, really love this one. If I had only got a chance to check out the saw cut titanium or jigget titanium one, oof, even better. But even with this carbon fiber version right here, man, immediately sold. $200 right here. Can't go wrong with the Lake Champlain Barlow as a premium slip joint. So next, moving on to another slip joint here. Of course, that's what this video is all about. And we're checking out the Tuya Blackbeard, right? The Tuya Blackbeard, this one is a design from Tuya Europe, from what I understand. Things that you notice right off the bat with this one is the fact that it has a pocket clip. So unlike the other slip joints, which you need a slip for to put them in your pocket, this one you can actually carry like a regular modern folder, right? So the pocket clip is a welcome addition. We have on this particular one the M390 steel, right, with a bell flat grounds and bell satin finish going on here. This one is a clip point going on. It is an Andy Thiel design with help from Sasha over on the, again, Europe side of Tuya knives, okay? And yeah, I mean, overall, you have a solid slip joint here. This one is not much more expensive than the other one we just looked at. This one is a $209 slip joint. And what's interesting about this one is the fact that it has 3 half stops, right? So here's 1, 2, 3. Right, so the walk and talk on this one is going to be a little bit quiet in the middle, but you do hear a loud close, right, and then a loud opening, and then they just wanted to do a 3 half stop, right, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, right, in the middle, which is pretty interesting that they chose to do it that way. And we have titanium going on the handles. On this one, it sort of gives you like a little bit of orange, or not orange, but goldish, brownish, copperish tone to it. It has that orange peel feel to it. Ergonomically speaking, I have medium hands. Again, not the biggest, not the smallest. I can feel on, you know, I can fit my fist on this one here. Hammer grip, right? Squeezing as hard as I can. Barely feel that pocket clip, if at all, right? I mean, this is as close to hand melting ergos as it gets. The only issue would be if you had bigger hands, maybe your pinky might hit that pokey section of the handle here towards the back. But other than that, man, this thing is also really sharp, cuts really well. This one is a little bit different than the other ones because it doesn't have a stop pin, right? So I go into that in a lot more detail during the review. So it does have a kick basically, which is this little section right here of the blade. So it's slightly different, still achieves the same purpose, which is avoiding the blade or the edge from hitting the back spring. But other than that, the quality on this knife is pretty good. Everything is nice and aligned everywhere. We have Chicago screws going on here, which you only see the actual hex pattern on the other side, which is good, right? Nice and beautiful. And honestly, right, pretty good slip joint right here for $209. Definitely have the premium materials right there. A nice fuller here for your pinch grip in the opening, right? Feels like a 6 or 7 right there on the pull, which is good. And yeah, this thing will perform really well. Again, slip joint, some of the sharpest knives I have seen so far in my EDC journey. Rivals, again, the edge and performance, cutting performance of some of the folders, more expensive folders that I own. And last but not least, here we go. We're looking at the Jack Wolf knives. This one is the Venom, right? Jack Wolf knives, Venom. This one comes in a slip. By the way, this is what a slip is if you're new to slip joints, right? So you could carry a slip joint in a slip, or it could be a slip joint that has its own dedicated pocket clip. So those are different options. This one is a nice leather finish, has a Jack Wolf embossed right there in it. Nice stitching all around. The Venom from Jack Wolf's, right? This one has the titanium bolsters with the brown micarta inserts, right? Same deal going on here. The finish on this is insane. This one here is a $275 slip joint, and honestly, the quality, the fit, the finish, and everything backs it up. So it's a little bit more expensive than the $209 on the Blackbeard. than the 200 on the Lake Champlain Barlow. And I mean, that's just the Jack Wolf way. They do a modern take on traditional pocket knives with all of the premium materials that you would expect this day and age, right? So first of all, let's get this one open here. Oh, the walk and talk on this one is amazing. Let me have you guys listen to it. All right, so now that we have opened and closed the crap out of it, let me wipe away some fingerprints from the blade. That is one thing that I noticed at the very beginning of my slip joint journey, if you will. It's the fact that opening the blade with two hands is definitely a thing. You must. Unlike a modern folder where you can just one hand open and one hand close, like on this Wrap Model 1 here, right? You can use the same hand to open and close the knife. With a traditional pocket knife, it's a little bit different with a slip joint, right? You could sort of maybe close it, right? It's going to be a little bit on the, I guess, dangerous side because you're just pushing, and that pushing on the blade, there's a lot of tension to that blade to close. I'm even trying to do it now, making sure my fingers are not in the way. And it's just a lot more intense to try to do it with one hand. And how the heck are you going to open it with one hand? You can't. There's no way. So you definitely are forced to do it with two hands. A lot of older folks that have been into traditional pocket knives for a long time, they love that about it, right? The fact that you have to use both of your hands. You have to be very intentional about how much you push or how much pressure you give it to open, to close, and so on. I was looking at a live stream from Tim School of Fish and Uncommon EDC. They were talking to Ben Belkins, the CEO from Jack Wolf's, and honestly, that's the main thing behind why people love traditional knives so much, right? It's the fact that these are handmade. There's a big process. Guy with a mallet just putting together pieces to make this happen. The machining, the steps that it takes to create a slip joint or a traditional pocket knife, it's a lot more involved, more hands-on than putting together a modern folder, which you basically just create the scales, the liners, and then just sandwich everything together with some screws. So yeah, there's definitely a lot more involved into that, which as a newbie, as a rookie, if you're first getting into knives, you don't fully understand that until later on in your journey. You're like, wait a second, what's the big hype about traditional knives and slip joints? What's that all about? Let me learn a little bit more. Let me educate myself. And these are the type of knives that your grandpa probably carried during his time. And if chances are you ask him right now, he'll tell you, right? Like, hey, yeah, absolutely, I'm familiar with those kind of knives. The materials here are very, very premium, of course. M390 on the blade. It's very good. The billboarding is very minimal here, right? Just the blade steel, M390 on one side and Jack Wolf on the other side. This one has a Warncliffe blade, arguably like one of my favorite, just if not my favorite, blade geometry of all time, coupled with my favorite blade grind of all time, which is a hollow ground, coupled with my favorite finish of all time, which is a bell satin finish. I mean, what is there not to love about this particular one? I mean, it hits, to me personally, it checks every single box, right? Warncliffe, hollow ground, bell satin finish. This thing looks gorgeous, amazing. Again, the micarta here gives you a good grip. Again, medium hands, right? That thing feels really good in the hand as well. No pocket clips, so I mean, this is as close to a 10 out of 10 hand melting ergos as it gets, right? I like the fact that it gets a little bit thicker towards the back, right? Similar to the Barlow as well, right? It's a little bit thin in the front, but then it gets a little bit thicker to the back, and that kind of helps you lock it in. And yeah, you can go to town with this thing. This knife here, right here, very, very sharp, right? I did some cutting with it. I've been carrying it here and there, right? I've been really aiming for carrying a modern folder with a traditional slip joint on my daily carry routine or rotation, and it's worked out great. It's worked out really good. First got the idea from Duty's Daggers, right? He's a welder, and he did a video going over all his EDC gear and everything that he carries on a daily basis. So yeah, I'm really digging the idea of carrying two knives, modern folder with a slip joint at the same time, and it's worked out great. So the materials here are really, really good. Again, that walk and toggle is really good. Got the half stop, full stop, right? It feels really, really nice. Everything is there. The fit, finish, these are some of the precision, the most precision, meticulously made knives that you'll find, right? That's one thing Jack Wolf's really pride themselves in doing, is making a really elegant piece with ultra amazing quality check, fit and finish. Everything is through the roof, right? Got a little bit of a nail nick on this one. Not that I really think that anybody's really going to stick their nail in there, because you really don't need to, right? That's more so for personality. I feel like the hollow ground on this one really helps a ton, because you could pinch and pull. This one's more like a 6, like 5, 6, 6.5 on the pull. By the way, that Lake Champlain was like a 7, 6, 7 on the pull. Right there. But yeah, these are some amazing slip joints, traditional knives that you should check out if you're into checking out slip joints and what have you, and you're looking for your next one, maybe picking up some premium materials or what have you. So let me give it to you in that order that we looked at. We checked out the Lake Barlin we checked out the Lane Champlin Barlo first. All right, again, traditional pocket knives. Then the Tuya Blackbeard V2, which again sounds like a pirate from Pirates of the Caribbean. And last but not least, we have the Jack Wolf's Venom Jack, right? Venom Jack right here. So yeah, 3 solid slip joints. I got a chance to have all 3 lined up, carrying them around the same time, and you know, I have review videos coming up for these if they aren't already posted in the channel by the time you're watching this video. So definitely check those out if you haven't already. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. Let me know if you're into slip joints. If so, what kind of slip joints or what brands do you own the most of? I'm just curious to find out what you guys are carrying out there. Again, I'm just barely getting my feet wet in the slip joint game. I'm more of a modern folder person myself, but hey, you know, this is what this journey is all about. Checking out new style, new knives, new gear, right? These are, you know, what knives were back in the day, and it's nice to capture that, you know, piece of history with modern elements, right? Modern materials, modern premium steels, modern premium handle, you know, like titanium and carbon fiber and what have you. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comments, right? Did you enjoy this video? Do you want to see more videos on slip joints? Let me know. Go ahead and smash that like button if you haven't already. Smash that like button because it really helps this video reach a larger audience. Go ahead and subscribe if you like seeing knife content like this. I make knife content on an ongoing basis. I promise you'll be worth coming back for more. You definitely wouldn't want to miss out. Last but not least, if you want to support the channel a step further, check out the link down below for Patreon, where you can support the channel for as little as $1 a month, or you can simply support the channel right here on YouTube by becoming a channel member. You'll get access to exclusive perks. That's been it, guys. Thank you so much for all your support checking out this video. I really appreciate every single one of you checking out the content, liking the videos and so on, commenting and all that. By the way, check out a video I did recently for Titanium Tuesday. I go over 8 different knives, this one being one of them, that you can carry for Titanium Tuesday premium modern folder knives to check out. I'll put a link to that video right here so you can see that one next. Thank you guys so much. Really, I'm super grateful for each and every one of you. Shout out to Lefty for the opportunity to check out all 3 of these knives. Guys, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll be seeing you guys on the next one. Peace.